Hey everyone, welcome back to Animated Stories TV. Today, we're going to discuss about the movie The Sea Beast, released in the year 2022. Let's go through some highlights of the movie to have an overview. The film begins with a ship on fire and a drowning child clinging to the ship's charred remains. The surviving child hears a roar and comes face to face with a sea beast. Maisie, an orphan, is shown reading bedtime stories to other children. She reads a story from the book Captain Crow's Tales about a great hunter who hunts sea beasts and rescues sailors. Captain Crow and his stories inspire her greatly, and she aspires to be a hero like him. Maisie flees the orphanage through a window and stows away after the caretaker enters the kids' bed chamber and asks them to sleep. The magnificent ship called Inevitable, led by Captain Crow and his crew members, sets sail to hunt the largest of all beasts. The Red Bluster, however, comes across a hunting ship that is being attacked. Captain Crow's crewmate Jacob reminds him of their code to save those in trouble, and a frustrated Captain Crow tells his crewmates that he has waited 30 years to exact his revenge on the Bluster, but he is bound by the code, so they had to change course and decide to hunt the Red Bluster later. Captain Nicholsbone's ship is under attack and about to be devoured by the sea monster, but the Inevitable arrives just in time. The Inevitables fire an exploding gun into the sky to attract the beast's attention, and it begins to approach them. As the Inevitables prepare their ship for battle, one of the musicians begins to play Highland bagpipe music. They fire huge cannonballs and arrows at the beast in an attempt to bring it down, as well as an arrow with some marking to determine its location, but the beast is smarter than they thought, and it tricks them, severing the line and attacking from below the ship. The ship is under attack, and everyone is fighting bravely, while a few crew members fall into the sea and are rescued with Jacob's assistance. Jacob attacks the monster's head with a spear but is thrown into the sea by the monster's arm attack. Captain Crow jumps with a spear in his hands and puts the spear through the beast's neck as it tries to devour Jacob. Captain Crow dives into the sea to cut the beast's horn, but the beast drags him down. Captain Crow is rescued by his crew members, and they proceed to see the king and queen in order to present the monster's horn to them. Jacob refers to the crew members as heroes and informs them that every hunter dies a great death. Captain Crow sends Jacob a message, and Jacob goes to see him. He tells Jacob that they'll return home to collect the bounty, repair the ship, and then go after the Bluster. The captain shows his family history record to Jacob. He tells him that the day he kills the Bluster will be the last time his name appears in the records as captain. He asks Jacob to take over the ship after his death. Jacob tells him that he has sworn to save them from demons since the day he bought him and that it is his honor to be the ship's captain after him. When they arrive at the port, everyone gathers to see what they have been hunting for. Maisie, who took off from the children's house, flew towards the port, where the Inevitable crew arrived bearing good news. Jacob informs everyone gathered that the crown will pay them and that the drinks are on them. They all go to the bar to celebrate and have a good time. Maisie observes them from outside the window and throws open the window to meet Jacob. She introduces herself as Maisie Brumble and asks Jacob if he really did kill 4 beasts in one day. He informs her that they were indeed 5. Maisie follows him and informs him that she is descended from great hunters, the monarchs. She informs him that her parents were once monarchs and died tragically. He inquires as to where she resides and who is responsible for her care. She tells him she is on the run from a children's home in Gelston. She expresses her desire to join his crew, but he declines, so she informs him that she will seek permission from the captain. So she will ask the current captain to join the crew. Jacob carries her and asks Rosie, a horse cart driver, to drop Maisie off at Gelston. Captain Crow and his crew go to see the king and queen on a new day to offer them the sea monster's horn. The king and queen inform Captain Crow that they have heard a rumor that they let the red blaster go simply because they had to follow a stupid code. The admiral informs Captain Crow that the crown does not pay them to follow a code, but rather to hunt monsters. The king and queen inform Captain Crow that they will no longer pay the hunters and that the hunter era has come to an end. The queen and the admiral display a navy ship to Captain Crow. The ship contained a large number of cannons that they had specifically built to eliminate the monsters. Captain Crow has a disagreement with the admiral and tells him that he is unfit for the job. Captain Crow is misbehaving and speaking rudely to the admiral, the king, and the queen. The queen directs that Captain Crow and his crew be arrested. Jacob comes to their aid and requests that the king and queen give them one more chance to prove that Hunter's era is not over. The queen declares that the contest will be between the Royal Navy and the Hunters. Whoever brings them the red bluster is declared the winner. The inevitable make their way to Dregmore. They prepare the ship for battle, and the captain gives a motivational speech to boost the crew's morale. While the crewmates are opening the whiskey barrels, they discover Maisie hiding in one of them. Maisie informs Jacob that she has stowed away, to which Jacob responds that they will deliver her to the nearest port. Maisie introduces Captain Crow as the captain of the world's second greatest hunter ships and claims that his parents' ship, the Monarch, is the greatest of all. When Maisie asks Captain Crow to join the crew, he recognizes the same spark in her that he saw in Jacob and welcomes her aboard. She meets and compliments Sarah Sharp, one of the talented crew members, and shows Maisie her room. Meanwhile, the ship begins to tremble, indicating that the monster is approaching. They all prepare for battle and ask Maisie to remain in the room. When the red bluster approaches, they fire cannons at it, causing the monster to fall into the ocean and collide with the ship's bow, causing a huge commotion. They use spears tethered to ropes to entice the monster. The monster begins to pull the ship, causing it to lose its balance. The monster moves in circles in the ocean, creating a whirlpool. Because of the disturbance and the force, Maisie is dragged out of the room. She sees the monster and begins cutting the ropes that are attached to it in order to save it. Captain warns her not to do it or he will kill her, and asks Jacob to intervene. She was able to free the monster, and both she and Jacob were thrown into the sea. She swims up and boards a boat, but Captain Crow pulls a pistol on her and threatens to kill her for releasing the monster. Jacob assures him that she is only a child, but he becomes enraged and is about to pull the trigger when the monster appears and swallows them along with the boat. They both end up in the mouth of the red bluster, and Maisie is terrified that they will perish. She worries that they will be digested in her stomach, but Jacob tells her not to worry and tries to find a way out. She ties a rope around Maisie and himself and climbs inside the monster's nose. Maisie follows him because they can't figure out how to kill it from the inside. They notice the red bluster swimming near a mysterious island. When Maisie's knife rubs against the inside of the monster's nose, it sneezes, and Jacob is thrown out, leaving Maisie hanging to the monster's nose. While clinging to its nose, Maisie notices that the monster is friendly and female. She begs Jacob not to harm her because she has saved them from being shot. They go inside the forest to rest under the shelter and prepare to leave the next day. Maisie questions Jacob about the accuracy of the information in the book. Whether the monsters actually attacked the villages or if everything was made up. Jacob informs her that the monster kills several people and that the humans fight back, and that her parents died as heroes as well. She tells Jacob that you can be a hero and be wrong at the same time. Jacob dismisses her thoughts and requests that she rest. When Maisie wakes up the next morning, she discovers a small blue-colored monster stealing food from their collection. When he sees her awake, he becomes terrified and flees. Maisie follows him, offering him food and naming it Blue. Jacob informs her that she cannot keep a monster as a pet. While carrying Blue, Maisie inadvertently steps on an egg, which hatches. Jacob throws away Blue and carries Maisie back to the shelter, but he accidentally hatches a large number of eggs. Newborn monsters pursue them, thinking they are their mother, and then their mother pursues them. A newborn monster walrus sticks to Jacob's back as he runs to the boat, and Maisie returns it to his mother. They intend to visit Rum Pepper Island, but a sea monster attacks them. Throwing Maisie into the sea, Blue arrives to save her and Red arrives to fight the monster. With the help of Jacob and Maisie, Red defeats the monster. Maisie asks Red to carry them to the island on her back, and she agrees. Jacob requests that Red turn right to take them to the island, but she does not understand. Then Maisie tells Red to turn right, and she does so. They estimate that it will take them 3 days to reach the island. Maisie notices several spears on Red's back and removes them one at a time. Captain Crow goes to see Gwen and asks for help in killing the red bluster. She gives him a lethal poison that can kill even the most powerful beasts. She shows him her most heinous creation, the hand of God, and warns him that it will cost him everything. He strikes a deal with her and takes the device and poison with him to eliminate the red bluster. When they arrive on the island the next morning, Jacob promises Red that he will never hunt sea monsters. Red detects the odor of gunpowder and proceeds to the other side of the island, where she discovers the Navy Admiral and his comrades camping. She becomes enraged and goes to fight them. They begin firing brutally, and Maisie tries to stop her but is severely injured. She rips the Navy ship in two, and Jacob shoots at her to prove it. Maisie is in pain. Captain Crow's ship fires a flare gun into the sky in order to attract Red. She attacks the ship, and they shoot her with the device Gyun gave them to take Red down. Captain extracts the poisoned arrow from her, leaving just enough poison to keep her down. He tells her that he will murder her in front of the king and queen at the castle. To transport her to the castle, the crewmates tie Red to ropes. They see Jacob rowing the boat while carrying injured Maisie. Maisie has passed out. When she awakens, she finds herself in treatment and overhears Jacob and the captain's conversation. He asks Jacob how he could befriend a beast that caused him to lose an eye. He tells Jacob that he will not let go of the monster and will bring it to an end. Maisie stands up and attacks the captain, but Jacob intervenes, telling her to let her go. The captain informs Jacob that they will be visiting Castle White Rock. Sarah pays Maisie a visit, and Maisie tells her that what they're doing to Red is wrong, and that she saved them. She claims to believe her, but she refuses to assist because she is a hunter. They arrive at the castle the next day and lock Maisie in the room. After struggling, Blue lets her out, and she thanks him. At the castle's entrance, she notices the same symbol that appears on every book with monster stories. She realizes that the royalty has been spreading rumors about monster attacks for years. She climbs on Red in order to cut the ropes and free her. The captain boasted about his bravery in capturing the red bluster and killing it. Jacob stops him before he can push the spear through Red and says he can't let him do it. Captain accuses him of dishonoring him and begins fighting with him. He accuses him of betraying all heroes. Jacob agrees that they were heroes, but heroes aren't always correct. The captain challenges him to a duel. Sarah arrives and assists Maisie in cutting the ropes that Red was tied to. Red stands up and begins destroying things. The king and queen request that the admiral remove it. Captain rushes towards the statue to grab a spear, but Red strikes him hard and threatens to kill him. Maisie intervenes and tells her to stop because if she doesn't, the battle between monsters and humans will never end. For a brief moment, everyone falls silent. Jacob shatters the spear to symbolize the end of monster hunting. Maisie addresses everyone as Red carries Jacob and Maisie on her back. Maisie informs everyone about how the crown has been lying to them about the monster rumors. The queen requests that the general issue the command, but he does not. He refuses to do so, claiming that his brother, too, was a monarch sergeant. Everyone advises the crown to let Red go. Lesser-known facts about the movie. In the SEA Beast movie, there's a hint of Moana, a scene from Pirates of the Caribbean, and a thread from How to Train Your Dragon. Chris Williams has also co-directed Big Hero 6 and Moana. The movie has a Scottish touch to it.